Hi, Next Exchange, Vivian here, and I just want to talk a little bit about character. Character is a very important asset to have, and character basically begins and ends with self awareness. The more self awareness you have, the more aware of who you are and what you do, and how you're maneuvering and move in the space of the world, the more awareness you have in that, the better able you are to exercise good character. And character is what's going to take you really far in life. Some people, there's a saying that you can only go as far as your character can take you. And that's true to a certain extent. I do know that we can see people, that seem to be doing well per se, and they lack a lot of character. And a lot of times their lack of character has put them where they are. But you can rest assured that there's a fall coming. There's a day of reckoning for them. And even with that said, character is not just material wise, or what the world deems as success. What people look at, they look with their eyes and they don't really know everything, what's really going on behind the scenes, or what's working in the heart. But character is something that people can look, they can spot it out, they can see it in you. Um, and that's good, right? That's good because, a good name is worth more than silver and gold. But character too really is something that speaks to us, and it's something that we should attain, to become people, good citizens of the world, and people with good character, right? So that in itself is its own reward, to walk in that walking in that, and the luxury of developing something so great within us. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the keys that will help to develop character. And the first one is to resist the temptation to deceive. You know, be transparent. That's one of the biggest flaws that you see in people. They're quick to be deceptive. They're quick to deceive, and they're quick to manipulate. And a lot of times they do those things because of selfish means. They just want to really get what they want, and they're not really concerned about other people. So it's really just a means to an end. It's an unhealthy means to an end for them. And the thing that they usually acquire through deceitfulness, it doesn't last. It doesn't last at all. So, be transparent, and again, resist the temptation to be deceptive. And even, some people don't straight out lie, they may omit what the truth is. So when you say, well, you didn't say that you had so and such a thing, they will answer and say, well, I didn't say I didn't. That's deceit, and that's a character flaw. So those are things that need to be worked on. Those are, again, those are holes within yourself. Those are holes within you, right? Because you're, holes within your, I don't want to just say your soul, but in your becoming of being and actualizing and being a complete, whole, healthy human being. The second thing is to give credit where credit is due. A lot of times you see people, and they don't want to give credit, and they don't want to celebrate other people. They don't want to give credit because, they they have all these opinions of, a lot of times, of themselves. So, these egocentric ideas of themselves. So they don't want to give credit where credit is due. Also, they feel threatened by the the thing that has been done that deserves the credit, and somehow they feel like it pulls away attention from them, which really it really doesn't. So give credit where credit is due. Don't take others credit. And a lot of time this happens in the workplace, where someone may come up with an idea, and someone else may run off with that idea and try to present it as their own. So that's just, that happens in social circles as well. Another one is to resist jealousy and unhealthy competition. Um, There's no reason for you to be jealous of anyone else, because if everybody stays in their own lane, there's enough for everyone. And, again, nobody takes anything from you. So resist jealousy and unhealthy competition, because those things, even though you may feel like the other person or the other people involved don't really get it that you're jealous, or they don't really see this unhealthy competition, they usually see it. Usually sometimes we can become entangled in our own mischief and we don't really see it. And we think because we're so entangled and because we think we're so smart, we don't think others see us, but we become like the emperor with no clothes on. People see right through us and they see it, and they see that as a character flaw, and they avoid you and they don't really want to be around you. Another one is do what's right even when other people aren't looking. A lot of people present for, so people can see them, so they can be seen for appearances. And that's just another thing. It just, when you keep going in that vein, you never grow because you never establish character within yourself. And people really a lot of times don't even care what you're doing really. you know do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and it feels good when you do it, and you can that's making an investment in your soul, and it's expanding your horizons as a human being, as a complete person, right? Also admit your faults. A lot of people don't want to admit their faults. They'll die before they say I'm sorry. Those are all character flaws. If you have a fault, admit your fault. If you do something wrong to somebody, say I'm sorry. And give a real apology, not a I'm I'm sorry your feelings got hurt. That's really a cheap way out, unless you really didn't do anything and it was all a misunderstanding. Then of course you'd be sorry that someone's feelings got hurt because there was a misunderstanding. But if you directly did something damaging to a person, to their property, to their soul, to their reputation, to their finances, to anything like that, admit that fault and come out of that. Come out of that person of being that hurts other people, that is wrong, that just has to be right, that thinks they know everything. Admit your fault with a sincere heart, and grow. It's nothing to admit your fault. All it does is grow you as a person. The other thing is, when it's in your hands to do good, do it. Power is given for a reason. If you have power in your hands, if you're a supervisor, a manager, if you have some kind of something over something, you're in that position to do good. Yeah, you do the right thing, and you help to make the company money, or to make it be its best. But when you have somebody, at your mercy, instead of being punitive, give grace. And I don't mean you have to let people go all the time, because some people are going to have punitive consequences as a result of their behaviors. But if you can do something for somebody, if you can give somebody a break, and it's no skin off your nose, and it's not, you're not doing anything illegal, but it's within your realm of power and authority, do it, right? You'll make somebody's day. You'll be a blessing to someone else, and that only comes back to you, right? Tenfold. Also, tithe of yourself, and I'm not talking about money per se, and I'm not talking about in a religious aspect. I'm talking about you, of your time, of yourself. What can you give of yourself? You yourself is 100%. Do you even give 10% of yourself? Do you give 10% of your money? You don't have to do all of that, but it doesn't have to be money. It could be, it could be, do you give to a charity? Do you give to the poor? Do you give to a friend? If it's their birthday, do you buy them a gift? Do you give them something? Giving of yourself, it just opens up your heart. It opens you up as a person. And it also gives you the idea of what what money and what all of that is all about, and you're not so tight-fisted so that even though nothing can get out, nothing can also get in. And when you never give of yourself, and right now I'm going to talk about finances, you will have a mind that's in a state of lack. You will always feel like you don't have enough. But the more you give, the more you receive. I can't prove it, but you can prove it for yourself. Test that and see whether or not it's true. And it'll change your whole concept about giving money. But also give of yourself. Do you give of your wisdom? Do you give of your time, your talent? All of those things are giving of yourself. The other thing is watch what you say. People with good character don't go around gossiping. They don't let corrupt communication come out of their mouth. They speak things that build people up. They speak things that are full of grace. They speak things where people say, aha, I never thought about that. So their words are to empower people. Their words are to cause a positive chain reaction. So all of that is part of character. If you have a word to give to somebody, you have something, that you feel pressing to say to them, have it be seasoned with salt and say it, and then watch what you say to break other people down. Because, you really don't have to say negative things about people. And then even if it's something that's true, look at your own intention and what is your reason for saying it, right? Is it to lift yourself up? Is it something that really needs to be said? So watch what you say and how you say it. Are you going around, cussing people out? Are you having a rage? Some people become enraged when they speak, and they yell, and their eyes get big, and their words are cutting. Their words hurt. Their words are filled with filth and contempt. That is not good character. Even if you think that, you're tough, or, I'm just telling the truth, I'm just telling it how it is, I just shoot from the hips. What are your words? Are you brass? Are your words, again, are they oppressive? So watch what you say. The more you spew venom to other people, again, remember, a lot of times that thing that you do to other people, you've already done to yourself. So watch what you're saying. That's not a part of good character. Also, be respectful of others' feelings, right? So that means be respectful of their feelings. So you watch what you say, you watch how you behave. Their feelings are important. Their feelings are at least valid to them. And so you can look for understanding, to see how other people are feeling. How do they feel when you do this, when you say this? A person of good character, of a noble character, will be aware of that. They will have that in their conscience. They'll hold that there to see what's going on in their consciousness. Also, be on time. That's a way of being respectful of other people, right? You want them to be on time. You want them to be on time, so you'll be on time. When you're late to somebody's appointment, you're showing no regard for them. You're showing no regard for their time, and you're being disrespectful, and it just shows that you lack character. Also, be respectful of other people's money. How do you spend their money? When they give you their money, is it like, oh, it's theirs, so I'm going to be frivolous with it? I'm not going to be careful with it? No, you treat other people's money like your own, and you be fair in deals. You get what you're worth, right? If you're selling a service, whatever your product is, get what you're worth, but don't be unfair. Don't overcharge somebody for something when you know it's not of quality. And the last thing I want to say is advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. So that's very important. There are a lot of people in the world, they may not have your knowledge base in particular areas. They might not have your courage. They might not have your position. They might not have your edge, right? They might not have that thing that you have a little bit more of. They might not have that. So, when you see people that you get a chance to advocate for, if you can speak for them, if you can help them to fill out a certain paper, if you can help them to achieve a certain platform, if you can help them and give them tips on how to save money, all that is advocating for somebody. Even if you teach them to advocate, you're helping them to advocate when they couldn't. So that's still advocating for other people. And that kind of goes back into when you have the power in your hand to do good, or to give mercy and grace, for you to extend that. So those are 10 things. And I hope it gave you something to reflect on, because character is really, if it's not the principal thing, it's at the top of the list. Um, and again, it begins and it ends with self awareness and growth. And I can't think of much that beats character. So, thank you for watching, and remember, you be the next to change. And if you have any comments, please comment down below. You can talk about how character, how developing your character has changed your life, and what that has meant to you. And again, please subscribe, and you be the next to change. Bye bye.